that time of the week, the time of the hour. I mean, we're back with another brand new episode of the Beyond Expedition podcast with 3 of your most favorite co-hosts in the entire world. My boy Brad, and myself, Eduardo, back at the Cost of the Virgin Studio, boys. It's been a hot minute.
It's been a minute.
Been a while.
It's been a while.
That's what we're talking about, right? One time for staying, who turned country singer, like my boy said, right?
Yeah.
It seems like everybody's going country. Let's start off that. Beyonce's now going country, and she's actually gonna do the cover of Jolene. She's doing like her own version of it. from what I heard. Is that the one that I don't know who's the original singer of that song?
I think it's Dolly Parton.
Yes, that is. Damn. Okay.
I don't know anything about country.
He says it right away.
But
no, that's true. Because that's I was reading something about how a lot of people are kind of venturing into that category. Because I mean, there's a huge following from what I see, from what I've heard. So she's going into that. So I'm curious to see how she's gonna do though. Like, I mean, the outcome of it,
Well, she's gonna push units for sure.
Queen B. Yeah.
Even if Jay-Z has to buy those albums on the sly. Like, isn't that what he did with Alicia Keys' album? Like,
Did he?
There was a weird thing that went on when Alicia Keys first came out. And so she was like, this new sensation, but behind the scenes, there was some weird stuff that went on where she was just pushing unreal and unbelievable numbers. Like, now, someone that comes out this new and unknown does not push numbers like that. So.
Dude, she doesn't age at all. Like, her performances that she's done, she still looks the same. I remember seeing her for the first time on MTV. Is it TRL with I Keep On Falling? Is it Falling, that song?
Yeah.
She's on the piano. She could sing.
I keep on falling in and out.
Her face is amazing.
Yeah, she's really pretty. She's really pretty. And she's married to Swiss Beats.
You.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's married to Swiss Beats. Yeah, I mean, they're both banking. I mean, I think she still does music till this day. So,
I know that number manipulation thing happens even to this day.
Like,
With streaming. And,
they have.
there was a big issue a couple of years ago with Travis Scott. I don't know if you heard about that, but it was. I want to say Travis Scott was pushing, and this is like at the peak of his relationship with Kylie Jenner.
Okay.
Right. And he was selling albums through like her cosmetic company. Whoa. So like every time someone bought a fingernail polish, they got a digital copy of his album.
Yep.
So he was like number one for like months. But there were like other albums that it's like, are you kidding me? How did that not pass it?
Yep.
And it's just because of all the fake numbers and all the streams and and there's a lot of that going on with the record labels with like just manipulating plays and all that kind of stuff.
True.
So to go back though to your original question on country, so I think there might be something at play here.
Oh, really?
I think
tinfoil hat time?
So tinfoil hat for
Everybody
sure.
slap their tinfoil hats on, right?
Latch it on. I'm going in deep.
Talking political here.
Steve.
What?
Is it getting political or are we?
Little bit.
Just let me cook. I got something cooking.
Pass him the soup stir. Or whatever it's called.
Pass me a little bit of. We're gonna marinate this one, but so. There's been, back and forth. Taylor Swift. Remember Kanye going up, and that was his infamous moment, taking Taylor Swift shine. Your album was cool and everything, but Beyonce should have won. Ever since then, there's been something going on where they pretend to be on the outside, right? Like, oh, it's just, a beautiful queen making music, and they're going back and forth, like supporting each other. Maybe in person or just not even say anything at all.
Yeah.
But I think behind the scenes, they got some goons on each side doing their dirty work for them.
Okay. And also it does make sense because like we're talking in the realms of buying streams. I think this might be a way to catapult her, Beyonce, into winning something of an award. What's the highest one? Not the Grammys, that's movies, but like the Oscar.
Grammy. No, Oscars is movies.
Oscars
movies, Grammys is
so that's the
music.
one she's going for because I don't think she's won a Grammy at all for music.
No.
So I think that's kind of a
Tay
play.
has.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I
Really?
think.
Beyonce?
So,
No, she
but
hasn't won a
also,
Grammy, no.
where did Taylor Swift come from?
Was it country?
She came from as a country artist.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought she
And
was
then
always
she
like pop.
converted.
She was like pop country, but she was mainly country.
Yeah, she was. Go to her first album. She was a country artist,
Interesting.
and then she came out into the pop realm, took Beyonce's shine, supposedly, right?
Yeah.
And I think there's been beef ever since. So now Beyonce, getting a little older, she's like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go on that side now.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going on. There's like some some subliminal stuff going on. Subliminal fighting.
Well, have you ever heard the term culture vulture?
I've heard of it. Yeah, of course.
So essentially, they what that comes from is like hip hop being like a more urban,
You can say it, Brad.
Well, I don't want to be politically correct. We're the same space. But now it's you could say the same thing's happening with Beyonce, right? Because the roles are reversed. Like it's
have fun with that.
Have fun. I know that because you can't say it. You can't
always
say it.
What happens is we always find out that there was the original country artist was, lo and behold, black. No, it would happen with rock and roll.
It's all good.
They're like, hey, did you know the original rock and roll music was black music?
Was it?
Yes. I don't know. I can't name the names, but that's the way it is. So then Elvis came in.
It started with jazz, didn't it? That's kind of
jazz was a part of it. Yeah. But and then Elvis came in and just like, boop. It's me now.
He was the king of rock. Yeah, he was dubbed the king of rock.
And there are a lot of African American country artists. I'm not saying that, but primarily you would say that most of the popular country artists are white.
Yeah. I just have a little bit of a beef with the whole culture vulture thing. Like I get it when you're talking about the hip hop world, where it's predominantly black music, black centric topics. You're talking about things like when NWA came out, right? They were saying things that no white person could say.
Yeah, but then again, Beastie Boys was out at the time too, right?
They were out at the time. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is like I get a little bit of consternation when it comes to that topic because art is art. You're not taking it from anybody. And so I think what part of that is just someone happens to be pushing more numbers that happens to be a different race than the majority of artists in that realm.
Right.
And so then the barbs start coming out. So me personally, I've never listened to a song and been like, man, that person better be X color that the predominant people in the genre are.
Yeah.
I've like when Darius Rucker went from going pop to country, I didn't never question that. I said, man, that's cool. Yeah. That's cool, man. Come on in. The water's warm.
Yeah. Cisco for a while too. He transitioned to country as well.
Cisco
did. Yeah. I did not know that for a good while. Somebody told me, like, what? Cisco? Really?
Let me see that.
Yeah, probably. I mean, dude. He probably saw some money in that. I was like, screw it. Let's do it, right? Why not?
Get that paper. Yeah. Get that paper. I'm not mad.
The one funny reference I can think of when we're talking about this topic in general, there was a clip of that gentleman that sang that song that they sampled for "Do for Love" on Tupac's song. The dude's white, but everybody's like, yo, I thought this was a brother the whole time. Because he has a really deep voice. Like he has a lot of soul in him. And they're like all like just like surprised. There was a white dude singing this song for so many years. They never put the face to the song. So they're like, holy moly. Like,
that is funny.
Yeah, you see like everybody just, what is it, jiving to the song? It's just like no matter what, it's art. Like he made it what it is. You know what I'm saying? You got to give the man respect for that. So.
Yeah.
But that's what I just thought was funny for that.
So what, Tejano is a music genre, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so, it's more like Texas over there, like Mex-Tex type stuff. Yeah.
What's gonna happen when that genre starts getting infiltrated?
It's already happening.
Is it?
Well, not Tex-Mex, but you know who Peso Pluma is, right? Peso Pluma, he's
the rapper country guy, right?
Yeah, he's pretty much like country and Mexican music.
Yep.
Supposedly there's a rumor there's Drake's already working with him on a song. Travis Scott's on a song with him on his new album that's going to come out. From what I've seen, I'm not really much of a huge follower of him. There's some songs that they're cool, but you're already seeing that transition molding to where it's one of the genres right now that's hitting hard for the younger crowd. Yep. And it was crazy because I remember going to a bar one time when we went to play Top Golf. We went to this bar. There was some dudes putting that song on that were like, you would think somebody that when they put a song like that, I'm like, oh, it's a Hispanic doing that or a Mexican, whatever. I remember it was like this Filipino dude who put that song on. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, it tripped me out because I'm like, it's like universal now. Yep. I would think to me, it's like only sticking to what I think, for my people to play that, but it's actually becoming universal.
That's the beauty of art. I've always loved music for that. Music has always been a healer of all the ails of our society. And so when people start beefing over stupid stuff. I'm just like, dude, let people, if that person is feeling that feeling in that moment, let him or her do that thing, because it's just art. It's just art. You're not taking anything from anybody.
Yeah.
But I understand where people like feel like that's their only shot is music, and then all of a sudden someone comes in from the burbs, like, I'll take that money.
Yeah. That's why I just think like it was a huge shakeup when Eminem came into the scene. I remember vividly, like someone was passing around the Real Slim Shady LP and they were playing it. I'm like, holy shit, this is fucking good. Like just hearing it, not knowing any background of the dude, I'm like, damn, this dude's hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But till then, it's like it's kind of hard to say like if we ever will see or have seen an Eminem as of now. It's like so hard to really like. He came off like a tsunami at this point, you know. Yeah. So even until today, he's acclaimed to be one of those most lyrical dudes.
He is the luckiest guy ever, because when Dre was listening to the demos or whatever, he didn't even know
he thought it was black. He used it himself.
And if his come up was just like, dude, out of Detroit, who comes out of who gets big out of Detroit?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
At that point, Detroit was like a flourishing city, right? Like it was at that point, like it wasn't like abandoned like it is now, right? There's not many people like I guess living there or whatever.
Well, I mean, when General Motors closed, it was everybody out. So it's been deserted.
So that 8 Mile movie, I'm curious because I'm just asking because I don't know. Was that really based on his life?
Loosely. It wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's been some things that have come out where they clarified like the storyline.
Okay.
Right.
What actually happened.
Yeah. They Hollywood-fied it.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. That too.
One of my faves
that movie was. I remember when that came out, everybody was talking about it.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, even like the soundtrack, like "Lose Yourself," the song came out. Dude, it was like, he definitely killed it on that.
I feel like Eminem was like the guy that when he came out, every white guy thought he had a chance to be a rapper.
I mean, everybody was kind of copying his style too, like bleaching their hair, like all like, super blonde, white shirt. Like, it's just crazy how much of an impact one person makes like that.
Yep.
Because I've seen it at that time when it was like just unfolding before my own eyes, dude.
It was a love-hate relationship when he came out. Because when he came out and got big, I was already writing. I was already doing my thing, and then he came out on his like what he could do with a pen and a microphone. I'm like, whoa!
I'm just gonna put this down.
Maybe I'm not cut out for this business.
I'm like, all right, so I can't keep up lyrically with him, but maybe I can put some feeling into my music.
So basically, Eminem retired.
Yeah.
No, I never quit. It was like I kept pushing, and he was so lyrical based. My stuff was more of like, I was influenced by Tupac.
Yeah.
I loved, Tupac wasn't known for his lyrics as much as he was the content of his music and pushing a message. I mean, Tupac had the heart. So that's who I was, I was never influenced by Eminem. It was the only connection I had was that we were both white. But I was just like, I loved his first album. I listened to his second album, but everything after that album, I kind of just like it. Just he went in a different direction, and I just kind of shelved Eminem for that. But Tupac was always my guy.
Yeah.
And so my whole vision when I was writing music was I love Sublime. And I love Tupac, and I'm like, what if I could just meld these two together?
Isn't it crazy that all those people like that we just mentioned are all connected in some way? Like Tupac,
how
to Dre, right?
To Dre,
to Eminem, to Biggie, to Snoop, to like literally all those guys are all connected. In
I thought you had a Sublime connection for me.
Oh no!
I was gonna say,
tell me about my boy Brad.
minus Sublime, But I mean, all the rappers that we mentioned, like all are connected, right? And like all goes back to Suge Knight and then P Diddy, and then it's
the world was the musical world, the hip hop world was a lot smaller back then,
right?
You weren't streaming music. If you wanted to make it, you had to go to the record label. You had to find an A&R. You had to really have talent. Now it's just like you know,
anybody can do it.
When
anybody can push anything
that
out.
6ix9ine guy came out and got big on SoundCloud, the guy, the rapper with the rainbow hair, the fake gangster guy, and I'm just like, oh god, like hip hop is definitely dead now. Definitely.
Yeah, it's just, but that's the power of the internet, right? Like, it took one song or a couple songs, and then just his persona as a person to make that wave, and all of a sudden it just took off like nothing, dude.
Yeah.
And it's just like crazy to me to think like, dang, like it just takes that one song to be put out, and then everybody just somehow it's like it's a magnet. It sucks everybody in, you know. And it's like boom, he becomes successful. He's around all these different people, but it's like it became a show at the point where like he was just talking all this stuff, and soon enough something's gonna happen, or something was bound to happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's what kind of came down to it. If I'm with the wrong people, you know, it's like, you know,
he got stripped down to his underwear and beat up in the gym, right?
I mean, he was, again, this comes with the territory. You're talking all that stuff. You're going to get ran up on. I'm sorry. And he got pieced up.
You go to LA Fitness by yourself.
He went to LA Fitness by himself. Why, dude?
Probably one of the ghettoest LA Fitnesses you can go to.
Oh, my God. And it's like those people are looking for just at least like a moment to catch a clip. And boom, blow up.
I'm surprised he's still alive, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, dude, like I said, everybody was saying there's going to be a point in time, something's going to happen. We're going to hear about it on the news, and that was that. Yeah. And it sucks. It's like, is that the price of fame at that point? You want to put yourself out there like music? That?
He's pretty much burned every bridge.
Yeah. I don't know if he is, to be honest. I haven't really heard too much of his name. Like, he's not even relevant right now. Like that I know of. I mean, I don't know.
He's making a lot of like Spanish music.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because he's pretty much worn out his welcome here, like with everyone. So when he got out, even as a snitch, right? The Nelk Boys, I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they like super embraced him. They started like bringing him out and put him in videos. And
did they rob him?
Steve Will Do It ended up like collabing with him on multiple videos. They was like, "This is my best friend."
Yeah, he's cool, dude.
They're giving each other Ferraris and Lambos and like all this stuff, right? And then apparently something happened and it was with the fake Lil Durk. Do you remember fake Lil Durk?
I think I remember seeing something about that.
So Lil Durk, he's an actual hardcore, like one of the real gangbangers probably in rap. He had beef with 6ix9ine, and there was, there's fake Drake on Instagram and fake all these people. Well, they had a fake Lil Durk, and they basically had 6ix9ine's team run up on him and like intimidate him and stuff, and like they basically set him up through Steve Will Do It. And it made Steve Will Do It look bad, and then
things kind of crumble from there.
Basically, his only connection in the mainstream, like in the U.S., is gone now.
Yeah,
and now his record label, I heard, is like more just like Spanish music. So he's doing a lot of collaboration with those guys.
See, I mean, that's just kind of comes down to it, man. You're a person like that to burn bridges. It's only amount of time that you're just gonna freaking crumble,
Pushed out of the country.
The power of karma.
Dude, yeah. I mean, that's how it is. It's like you kind of don't play your cards right. That's what's going to happen. You're going to be ran out of business like that, man. So, I mean, yeah. But in other news, I mean, let's move into the topic of sports. So, I mean, a little late to the show, but of course, a lot of movement, I guess you could say, right? Mm-hmm. But one of the things is interesting to talk about because it's almost like I feel bad for the dude, but then I don't. Well, I kind of more feel bad for him, but Russell Wilson with his Denver Broncos contract and the whole injury clause that he's still going to get paid that 36 to 35 mil, right? Like even regardless if he's not with the team anymore. So they pretty much try to make it seem like either you remove that from your contract or you're not going to play. And he chose not to play because they were kind of trying to snuff him for that because it's a lot of money. I mean, 35, 36 mil, that's a pretty penny. So he was kind of talking about his point of view of like, they were trying to pretty much like, I don't know, I guess like make him give up that money.
It's pretty much blackmail.
Right. That's like, I mean, that's kind of messed up. It's like, if you promise to do this, why go back on your word and all of a sudden trying to yank that money from him? And you're giving an ultimatum. You either play, but we're going to take that away, or you don't play and we're going to bench you, and that's it. That's what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And I guess they just somehow ended on bad terms, or whatever, and they just went their own ways. And now he's with the Steelers for a year for I think 1 point something mil or something like that.
Yeah, veteran minimum, and I think it's like 1.6 million.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is I believe like I would say that the average starting quarterback salary has to be in the at least 25 to 30s.
And they give him one?
But it's because he's still getting money from Denver.
Oh, that makes sense.
So
yeah,
this was actually best case scenario for Russell that he was released because the Broncos took the biggest cap hit ever for him to not play. So I believe it was like an $85 million cap hit next year on the Broncos payroll, right? And the next two closest cap hits of all time were 40 and 41. So his combined is bigger than the top two ever.
He has
for
a good
you to
agent.
not play, right? And he still gets the money, like most of the money, because I mean, I believe his contract was like 60% guaranteed. So that's why the cap hit's so deadly, right? And they basically, you know, people said a year ago, even after his his first bad year with them, right? They're like, there's no way even at the end of this year they can't afford to do it. And the fact that they did it, it speaks volumes, right?
He pissed somebody off, didn't he?
Definitely. And it's kind of funny the snowball effect of this all, right? The Steelers a couple years ago picked a guy named Kenny Pickett, and he was supposed to be like the next Terry Bradshaw of the Steelers, the next Roethlisberger. They played him for a year and a half, I think, and now he got traded to Philly.
Wow.
So he, and within the state too, right? Because it's Pennsylvania, but he just got traded to the other team.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy that you know, that snowball effect of Russell not performing, it ended up shifting people around, and so yeah, now honestly, I expect for him to do well this year.
Okay,
I think he's set up for success.
That's the one thing I was going to ask you. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking. I mean, this is just me kind of talking out of line, but like, if he does very well this next season with the Steelers, do you think they're going to hone him in on a bigger contract the next year after that 1 year?
They have to.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes out and he's old Russell, then he's probably getting paid 40 a year again. Yeah, and it could even be more because I mean, I think Baker Mayfield just got 40 million a year.
Yeah.
So he's like top 15, and if Russell goes out and, you know, takes them to the playoffs, or
playoffs.
the AFC Championship, and they play the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl, or, you know, some like scenario like that, he has to get paid.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
if he leaves, he's going to get paid by somebody else again. Right?
Yeah.
So and they already gave up their future. They gave up Kenny Pickett, who played like ass last year, but I mean, he still was supposed to be the guy. He's still only like 24 years old, so
He's still a young guy.
yeah. So and apparently he was open to a quarterback competition, and as soon as they signed Russell, he got traded. So a lot of people are saying that they said, yeah, whoever we bring in, because they didn't know if they were going to get Russell.
Yeah.
But whoever we bring in, yeah, we'll let you compete for the job. And so a lot of people are saying that they basically just told him,
Yeah.
like, Russell's starting. So good luck.
Yeah. For a moment, did you think that that the Seahawks were going to try to bid for him or no?
Well, part of me wanted that to happen,
Really?
just because I mean, everybody's in Seattle's got a little soft spot for him, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen him suffer enough. I kind of want to see him, like, you know, yeah.
Where are
him
you
suck.
at?
I mean-
what do you want out of Russell?
I mean, now that he's on the Steelers, I hope they lose, because other than the 49ers and the Patriots, those are that's probably the team I hate the most is the Steelers. But I really like. It's weird though, because I'm more of a, you know, I don't really look at it from a Seahawks fan aspect anymore. So I do have like favorites on teams, right? Like I really like the Steelers coach, but I just hate the franchise. So I hope the franchise loses, like, you know, gets right to the end like the 49ers and then lose.
Yeah.
That's what I hope.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was very interesting out of everybody else, because there was rumors that he was going to go to like the New York Giants. I didn't really hear too much about like the Steelers themselves. Like, dude, it was like, what?
Dude, they're loaded now.
Yeah.
They started so they're in the same division as the Ravens, right? And so what's happening is players are shifting over to the Steelers from the Ravens.
Yeah.
So it'd be like the Seahawks going to the 49ers.
Yeah.
Right? So the Ravens had Patrick Queen. He was all pro. I'm not sure what team for a second. But he was arguably one of the best players on the Ravens defense, and he went to the Steelers. And they already have a pretty loaded up defense, and they've got talent. They have an offensive line, which works well, you know.
Damn.
So
Yeah. So it sounds like he's pretty much set for,
yeah,
you know, top of
Russell
the
does
team.
know how to destroy an offensive line though, because he's not a traditional quarterback.
Yeah.
He doesn't drop back and put his feet in the ground and throw
Yeah.
the ball. Like
Moves around.
Even if there's a pocket, he runs outside of the pocket, and it's like kind of hard to block as a big,
When
as
the
a-
dude's moving that quick, like the line can shift all the way to the right.
well, think about being a left tackle or a right tackle, right? When you're protecting his his right side and his blind side, like you're 340 pounds, and your position, you're designed to be able to hold people, like push people away.
Yeah.
But when things start going side to
Yeah,
side,
that's when
when things are not good for the offensive linemen, right?
Yeah.
Because they're like running around almost looking, and they don't even know how to block, right? And then the defensive ends are constantly shifting sideways and running to the ball.
Yeah.
So it's gonna make it. I'd be interested to see actually if the Pittsburgh Steelers have the worst offensive line in football this year, statistically.
No.
Only because of Russell.
Dang.
Yes.
Only because
The same thing happened in Denver. So everybody's like, oh, this is perfect for Russell. He's finally going to have an offensive line.
Yeah.
He goes to Denver. They're literally the last ranked offensive line in football by the end of the season.
Because of his technique.
Just the way that he moves around too much.
Because like just traditionally a quarterback, like you would look at somebody like Brady, right? He takes the snap, takes a couple steps, plants his feet, gets the ball.
Looks around the field at least. Doesn't
He's
move.
got read one, read two, read three. Yeah. Right? He's like a robot, right? Yeah. Well, Russell's like, oh,
run to the right. Run back to the left.
It's like, oh shit, he's coming. And then he's running around in circles. And it's like, not only are the offensive linemen having problems blocking, but if your offense is time based, it's all timing, right?
Yeah.
And so if a receiver's trying to run a route and then they look back and they see Russell's back to them and he's running 20 yards behind the line, I mean, it's like, what do you do? You just kind of run around with your arm and kind of like, oh, there's open field over there. I'm going to go stand over there and wait for him to see me. It's like, it's really frustrating for people that are like mechanically sound as receivers.
Yeah.
Because when you run that route and then come out and the ball's not out, you're like, what do I do? You just stop. And then like Lockett, he was great at that. That's why Lockett was so great with Wilson, is he has that same thing that Russell has. He has like that backyard football gene, but not a lot of people have that because they're just athletes and they're programmed to
play their certain position, like to play strictly that. Don't go beyond what you should do. Yeah.
Yeah, and so any traditionally like really sound receiver would have a really hard time even succeeding with him.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I kind of like it though. He mixes it up.
He does mix it up. On that note, did you see that the Seahawks brought in another quarterback?
Okay. Before we get into that, you said Lockett. I respect the dude and I like it more only because if you come across this is why. He took a pay cut to stay with the Seahawks.
Wow.
He did.
That's
Wow.
I think they were pretty much telling him, "Hey, you can go."
Yeah,
like
but he loves. He probably just loves the team. He loves the franchise.
Well, I think he probably his roots are here now.
Yeah,
right. He's been here for what?
Since he was a rookie, right?
8 years or.
So when we're talking about a pay cut, what are we talking?
I don't know
what the specifics is. I don't know, but I just said that he took a pay cut to stay here with the Seahawks.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the pay cut was. I know he was making around $10 million a year, so I'm assuming he probably is making. I mean, just based off of others, maybe 6 or 7, but that's just off the top of my head.
That's
probably what he got cut down to.
Yeah.
And I would be surprised if he took less than that, because I mean you'd taken half your pay.
Yeah.
But think about it though. You have your kids, right? You have your family probably here, right? At this point, since he's been here for so long, his kids have been in a school district probably for 5 years. They have friends, and it's like he's on the fringe of the end of his career. Yeah. It doesn't really make any sense for him to move.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
He's a G for that, man. True Seahawks. Sure. I definitely want to get one of those old school unis still, maybe with his name on it.
Yeah,
dude. Why not? New quarterback. So who's this new quarterback we got?
So it's actually really crazy too. His name's Sam Howell, and he came from the Washington Commanders.
Yes. Okay.
He was a 5th round pick, I believe, in like 2022. So kind of similar to like Kirk Cousins. Back when Kirk Cousins got drafted, which he's one of the top 10 or whatever in the league now. RG3 was in front of him.
He
got drafted and he ended up taking over his spot. Well, that's kind of what happened with Howell. I don't believe he started as the starter. I think he got there was an injury or something that brought him onto the field. But I believe through week 5, he was one of the top. He was number 1 in the league in passing yards.
Oh, okay.
This kid was born in the year 2000.
Oh,
you want to feel old? Holy,
that's crazy.
Yeah. So I was looking at it the other day, and I think I want to say he was born August of 2000.
So he's 24 years old. If my math is right.
He's turning 24 in a couple months.
Dude, young cat.
Yeah. So with putting that perspective, he was essentially like a college senior in the NFL, right? And as a quarterback with that type of responsibility, it's pretty rare for someone to get the keys.
Right.
The kid's got a lot of talent. I think he has a way higher ceiling than Geno. I think Geno, we've seen his best, honestly. That's the problem with him, is that he's not awful, right? He has terrible moments, but statistically, he's not awful. So it's you can't really just throw him on the bench. But if I were him, I'd be ready to take my helmet off and sit on the bench.
Yeah.
Because at this point, what's happening is, since they picked Howell in the 5th round, We inherited his contract, a 5th round rookie contract. It's even better than what we were paying Russell. You remember back when he was a rookie in his first few years? That's why we were able to field such a competitive team around Russell because we were paying him like nothing.
Yeah, well, that's when the Legion of Boom days right there. That's,
so we were, like the average, I think, I'm not sure what it was in 2012. It was probably around 15 to 20 million for a quarterback, and we were paying him 2 million or like $1 million.
7th round draft pick.
Exactly.
Baby.
And so think about that difference, right? When you have that $18 million difference, I mean, that's like 2 players, really good players that you can have instead of paying it to the quarterback. So I think I actually anticipate, like, if we do end up getting Hal in there this year and he starts taking care of the ball a little better, because he did throw 20 picks last year. So, but he's a gunslinger though. Think about like if you look at Brett Favre and like Peyton Manning, and those guys, they threw a shitload of interceptions in their first year or two. And Favre, I believe, has the most interceptions in the history of the NFL.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and he's considered the greatest, right?
Wow.
Or one of the greatest. Like
one of the greatest.
top
Green
7.
Bay, yeah. Green Bay and the Vikings. He was with Green Bay and Vikings, right?
Yep, Green Bay, Vikings, and Jets.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I mean, you can't really judge a guy that young. Like, to me, the fact that he even had the guts to even throw 23 interceptions, it's like, it's crazy, right? I mean, he's like, I'm gonna fit it in there, you know what I mean? Like, and that's just kind of the mentality some of these guys have to have. Like, you see in the past with Russell, he's almost scared to throw it into coverage because he doesn't want to throw a pick.
Yeah.
Whereas like this guy he doesn't care about throwing picks. Like, obviously he doesn't want to, but he's trying to win the game.
Yeah.
He'll try to fit it in there,
Yeah.
So
I respect it though. If he's trying to make a play happen and just like in a dire need situation where maybe there's 2 minutes left, 4th quarter, we're down by 4 or whatever,
Right. Yeah.
It's like he's willing to make that play or make that move to make that play, at that point. I respect it.
He was, mid-season, Howell, me and my cousin were talking and we were like, man, wouldn't it be amazing to see him on our team? And it's just crazy because like at the time he was playing at such a high level, and he did fall off like near the last part of the season, but a lot of that had to do with the Commanders kind of offloading their team. So they basically traded a lot of their players like about halfway through the season. They traded one of them to the 49ers, Chase Young. He was considered like, and we talked about him actually on the pod. I was like, oh yeah, Washington doesn't have Chase Young.
Yeah.
Well, a couple weeks later, they traded him to the 49ers. And he was like just this beast, right? And so if you have no defense, you have no talent, and you're a rookie, like there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can really judge him off of last year. So I'm kind of excited to see what happens.
No, that makes it more interesting. New coach, new quarterback in the hunt for the starting position because they're going to duke it out with him, Gino. And no, we were like, the other guy, right?
Yeah, Locks, we released him and he signed, I believe we released him. I know he's with the Giants. Hey,
the Giants, yeah. Okay, so now it's going to be new guy from the Commanders with Gino to see who competes for the starting position, right?
Well, see, the thing is that they, right when Gino got hired, right when Howell got picked up, they said that he was picked up as a backup.
Oh.
So, but they're doing that. There's going to be a competition. It's a new coach. The coach has no allegiance whatsoever to Gino.
Yeah.
He's not the one who brought in Gino.
Yeah, true.
There's a reason why Pete Carroll is not associated whatsoever. Like, even though they say, he's an advisor.
An advisor.
When they hired the coach, they said he hadn't even met him yet. So it's like, how much of an advisor is he really if he has no hand in the next head coach? So.
It'll be interesting though. Okay, I'm looking forward for next year, season, definitely when it starts later this year to see how we do, and how things turn out, especially with the shift of players like we were talking about. So Russell Wilson with the Steelers, see how he does, and how he fucking adapts to his team, and just with us, new coach and possibly new quarterback.
And the new coach, I'm most excited just to add one more thing about the defense. Because he was a defensive coordinator for the Ravens. They were a top defensive team. So I'm really, our team is known around the league as being pretty loaded in the secondary, cornerback and mainly cornerback because now we traded our safeties. But I mean, we have a pretty talented defense, so it's going to be interesting to see what somebody with a new mind, a new refresh mind, experienced, like, and not only just experience but success. Like, he's experienced success on defense. He knows what works. It's a different story when you bring someone in that, he was an assistant for a defense that did well. This guy ran the defense.
So he was the head of
one of the top defenses in the league. And he says he's running the defense this year until he gets someone that he trusts that's on the same page with him.
Hand it over to him. So we'll
see. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Exciting.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this plans. Young dude, fresh perspective. see how we do, man. Hopefully we're just better than last year. I just hope that's the thing. I definitely want to try to go to a game this year too, for sure.
Yeah. One more thing.
Yeah, no, of
on
course.
football.
Freestyle.
Aaron Donald is gone now. He's retired, so we can all rejoice.
We know.
Aaron Donald is one of the scariest. People say he's one of the best defensive tackles of all time, and I swear every team in the division had multiple major injuries because of that guy. And it's not because he's dirty. He's just a truck. Like he would take two people, like two offensive linemen, and throw them back into the quarterback.
Damn.
Like he's an animal, and he retired early. Thank God.
Was this the dude from LA Rams?
Yes. So
yes,
Kyler Murray, the quarterback of the Cardinals, who's in the division, he's like, "Hey man, congrats on a great career," and blah blah blah. And then he's like, "Please don't come back."
Why did he retire?
It's like almost a Barry Sanders type move where he just kind of called it quits during his prime.
Okay.
And he already has a Super Bowl, and I think he's just beat up and just wants to live his life.
Yeah.
And it's just unfortunate. It kind of reminds me of Cam Chancellor when he retired.
Yeah. Yeah. But this guy's like an all-time great. Like Cam Chancellor, I would say he's top 10 safeties, maybe 15 of all time. But the longevity part is why he's left out of those discussions. But this dude was like, I believe 9-time All-Pro in 10 seasons.
Damn.
And I think he made all Pro Bowl every single year he was in.
Okay,
he made the Pro Bowl. I think he won Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, and I mean all the way up until the end.
Proof is in the pudding.
He was a game wrecker. So
damn.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Enjoy life, man. Enjoy the fruits of your labor, like they say. That's good. Yeah. Hey, man. Yeah, football, baby. We'll be back soon with that. Anything else on the agenda today, boys? I mean, anything else that you want to catch up? I know we've took a little brief pause, little hiatus, trying to get back into the mix, get in here, with everybody's time schedules and all that, how it is, but anything else on what's going on in the crazy world? I mean, one thing we're out of rip I can think about, we've talked about this topic in regards to the direct energy weapons. I mean, what did I tell you, Brett? I mean, Brett, you probably heard, I don't know if you heard about it, but they pretty much confirmed that, was it Germany or who has it, that they do have it. They pretty much said, yeah, we have it. We have a direct energy weapon now, and we're using it. And now they're saying even China has one, Germany has one, Russia has one, and I'm sure we have one too. So that's what's crazy. It's like, now people were saying it wasn't real. People were saying like, oh, this can't exist. But it's like,
I thought there was already proof that it existed.
Yeah,
I think everyone has it.
They weren't really coming out saying like it does exist, right? But like, why would they? Right? Well, it's a weapon, right?
Right. Everybody's worried about their national security.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I'm watching the Beyond Expectation and it's confirmed that these things are real, I think Home Depot better stock up on blue paint. And I'll let you guys make the connections. They'll take us off. Yeah, well, it's the roof that needs to be blue. It's the
Damn
roof. Use Maui as reference.
Yeah, I figured that's where you were going.
Yeah,
that's what's crazy.
We can't go any further because they'll strike us.
That's a crazy one, man. We talked about it briefly, and somehow we just got a strike on that.
Some way.
And it was on TikTok. Which, mind you, let's talk about that. Okay.
Oh yeah, let's go into TikTok.
Let's go into that. So, from what I can understand, they are about to shut down that app, or they're about to say it's no longer legal.
They're introducing a bill,
right?
To ban TikTok.
So
in America.
And are you pretty filled in on this? I just want to say, like, I don't want to steer things into the wrong direction, like to make sure like I'm correct. But then we're professionals, hey, you take our stuff with what we say with a grain of salt. We're not professionals. We try to act like we are, but we're not. We're just talking on just kind of what we see within the interwebs, kind of like what you see. But they're pretty much honing in on the fact about TikTok becoming an app that's no longer going to be able to be used here in the U.S. But with that, it's almost like they're trying to slide other things underneath with it, meaning they want to take full control of apps, right? Like what can be made or what can't be made, right?
Right.
So there's a bigger picture here, right? It's for the government's benefit for them to control pretty much what we can see or what we can I guess put out or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Is that kind of like my understanding?
No, I think you're right. And if you could, like, the way I would sum it up, I would say it's like the Patriot Act.
Yes.
For social media.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do.
But they're trying to like focus on TikTok. Everybody's freaking out. They're like, I've seen a lot of memes about like people that are content creators on TikTok. They're going to have to face reality and go apply at one of those fast food jobs or something like that. Because it's like, people are making money off this stuff.
Right.
And it's, I mean, we're on there too. I mean, it would suck for us, but I mean, because for a moment we were hitting the algorithm pretty hard. I mean, I think we were like at 400 followers. We're at 727 right now. It's like, dude, we were booming for a good while. But it's like, it sucks now that if they remove it, that's another place.
I think that people should. Now, I'm not pro TikTok. I've never done anything because it was Chinese owned. I didn't trust them. But at the same time, you're talking about a lot of people when things go down. A lot of people use TikTok, and the reason they go to TikTok is because, I mean, and it's funny, it's ironic saying this, that there's no control. The government cannot control TikTok, right? If they want a message out there. But lo and behold, it was TikTok that banned us or gave us a strike.
Yeah, for talking about the whole Maui incident, all that.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. It's like, that one baffles me to this day. I don't know why.
It does. It baffled. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It was a video that was catching on like views.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. It's like, oh man, there you go. Like, no,
we poked the bear.
Yeah, they pretty much like shadow banned it. It's not, they can't see it. I can see it on my end, but people can't see it.
I'm not as informed about you guys about this TikTok thing, but I did see a headline earlier and it said something about a forced sale in the United States. Did you guys hear anything about that?
So there was one gentleman that wants to actually bid for it or actually buy it. And I think they gave him the option, either you sell it to a company that's US based or US, or, it'll be US owned, or it's no longer going to be eligible to be like, downloaded here in the US, we're not going to have that. So there's
they're not doing it.
Yeah, but they're not doing it.
Yeah.
They want to just say, nope, you're done. That's all that. So, I mean, so far, I see a lot of pushback on like, I think it's kind of middle, like 50-50. Like, people don't care. And it's like people that make living off content creations there. It's like,
so why would you ban? Who cares who owns the app?
Yeah.
What content are you so worried about?
Yeah.
What is the concern?
I think it's the private the data and the stuff that
they're collecting.
China owns it, and that they're able to collect all this data, and that the idea is that if it's sold to a U.S. entity, that they won't have access to that anymore.
So all they do with our data is make more money off of it. So are they just worried that China's getting a bigger payday off of our data? I mean,
I'm
what's
assuming
the problem?
it's some sort of a national security thing.
I think that's what it is too.
I think making it like the spying and that kind of stuff.
What data are they getting that is a national security risk?
I have no clue.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, we all know what we all read before we sign up for any app. We all read the terms and conditions, do we not?
Every single page.
Yep. 10 pages, terms and conditions. I don't sign nothing.
Next. That's all I do,
Scroll. Check. Submit.
Have you got on yet? Oh, I'm on actually page 438 of the terms and conditions. But yeah, just give me a minute.
Give up your rights. Give your rights to all that.
Literally, you just signed over all your organs to China.
Right.
When you're deceased, all organs are now owned by this company. You never know, bro. We don't read it. We don't read it. That's honest truth.
It's weird, like, that there's this focus and that it's not American owned when we've sold out to China. All our politicians have sold out to China on so many levels. I mean, look at how much farmland China owns. Right? I mean, there's so many things that China, we've allowed them to come in and influence Hollywood. You can't even put out Top Gun with the Japanese flag on Tom Cruise's arm anymore, or the Taiwan patch. You can't do any of that. They own America.
Indian players can't say anything about China anymore, or Hong Kong, what's happening, all that.
We were talking on a couple episodes ago about San Francisco, and that place, when I was there, it was a ghost town. And I mean, a lot of those buildings that are closed are owned by Chinese. So.
Yeah.
A lot of the real estate and everything.
That, like, if we're worried about China, I think that let's focus on where they're really going to hit us. Right? If they own farmland, and then they all up and decide that they're keeping all of that food for us, I mean, let's go back to, I don't know, the year 2001. There was a massive event that happened, and there was a lot of recycled steel, a lot of extra steel after that day. And
passport found on the ground. Whoa, what's this?
Man, that's a lot of steel real quick. So China came in and swooped it on the low. Yeah, they came in.
Serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
You guys didn't know that?
No.
Oh man, yeah, because they kept that out of the history books, boys.
Game used steel.
Because Xi Jinping, he was like
hair and blood and everything.
Oh, dude.
when they were writing out the history books, he's like, well, leave that out. Leave that out too, and that.
Dude.
Yeah, dude, that dragon is running this country.
It's almost like the stupidest thing too. Like this is kind of like, I mean, off the topic of what we're talking about. It's kind of like what they're trying to do with that picture, that iconic picture of World War II, with that sailor's kissing his girlfriend when they came back from war.
Okay,
they're trying to get rid of that. Or there was like a request for them to remove that. It's like, dude, that picture, I remember seeing it. I didn't know what it had to do, like what that picture had to do of or whatever. They were trying to remove it. It's like, I've known that picture for the longest time, and they're trying to remove it for why? Why? I don't get it. It's like American history.
Well, it's what about the Google? What were they doing? I don't even know the name of their program, where their AI program, where you would put a picture in, and so like you'd ask it, show me an AI image of our founding fathers. And then they'd all be black. Like it'd be essentially George Washington as black, and they were so many woke people on that it just destroyed the whole thing because they were like lying to us.
I think I saw one of Elon Musk black too.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, we can't. TikTok ain't doing that to us. They're not lying to us like that.
When we're long gone, they're going to change
our.
When we're long gone, they're going to change our ethnicities. You're going to be black. You're going to be like, I don't know what else be.
You're going to be Chinese. Yeah,
I'm going to be whiter.
White in a country hat.
And then pretty soon I'll be Mexican.
It's insane. I mean, it's just like we live in this age of gaslighting where you're gonna believe your lying eyes.
Yeah.
Don't believe your lying eyes. Don't believe your Don't believe your lying eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, we live in this gaslight society where like we know damn well that it's not the truth. Yeah. We know that our founding fathers all came from Europe, and we knew that everybody in Europe was European, which by default made you white. So why are you trying to lie to us and tell us that our founding fathers were all black?
Changing everything. Yeah,
I mean, it's like, dude, what? No one believes you. Like, okay, Jay-Z, we don't believe you. You need more people.
I was curious to know, like, why? What's this whole thing with that? Where you were just saying they were changing, like I said, the Elon Musk being black thing.
Because they're trying to condition us. They're trying to condition us to
change history, pretty much,
and act a certain way. So we can't talk like these. This conversation that we're having is off limits in Silicon Valley and surrounding areas. You can't talk like this, and that's why we have to talk like this, because we can't allow these monsters to continue to allow us to be lied to when we know we're being lied to, and they know that we know, and that's what gives them the power.
Yeah.
You give them power when you knowingly being lied to and accept the lie, and they know that they were lying.
Yeah, it's kind of
that gives them the power.
It's I don't know how the quote goes, but it's like you give them a little bit of something, they're gonna come for everything or something like that.
Yeah,
it's like so it's, I mean, with everything with privacy, in regards to privacy, gentlemen. Okay, let me ask you one question. This tripped me out. Have your insurances rates gone up in the last couple of months or recently? Have they gone up? I mean, I'm just saying before your incident, what happened with you, but you in general.
I forgot to do my health assessment, so mine went
up. No. Your automobile insurance.
Oh,
okay.
Automobile insurance.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Mine, I want to say my wife said it did go up because she's in charge of that. Just make sure, we're paying what we're paying before. So I was reading an article recently, and this is for everybody. So if everybody's car insurance has gone up, this is why. I'm just relaying the message. You guys can hit your Googles and all that stuff, your Google searches and all that, and find out for yourself. This is what's happening right now. So what they're doing for the newest cars, this is kind of like, I'm kind of thankful I have like a 99 Honda. So this is just
so gently used.
Gently used. So what they're doing is any car that has any like newer, like I guess, like your computers, everything's computer based now.
Yep.
What they're doing insurance companies, for some reason, were getting data pulled from every person's car that owns like the newest, like, I don't know what year specifically, but they're gathering that information and actually being able to see how like fast you're going, how like if you're braking on impact, like if, I guess there's a certain way where it measures like how fast you're pressing on the brake or how much you're braking, you know? So they're looking at all this data, and that's why they're raising the prices up.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of jacked, because it's like, to me, I look at that as invasion of privacy. Like, why would you need to know that stuff? Like, you need to know everything that I'm doing at this point, like to how I'm driving. It's like, if I'm not in a wreck, I'm not causing wrecks or whatever, like, why should it be a concern to you? You know what I'm saying?
Back a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, insurance companies would give you this.
I used it before. I used it once, but then I thought about, I yanked that thing right off.
Yep.
Nope,
and they said that's what the whole carrot on the stick was, is, hey, just put this in, no wrecks, no nothing, you won't, your premium won't go up.
Yeah.
But they were using that data, and then all of a sudden people would see their insurance going up, and they're like, oh yeah, we could see that you were speeding, you could see the break-in, everything you're talking about. So that was the beginning. Now the cars that they have that chip already in it,
them,
and they're all sharing that information, and that's completely jacked, because the deal that I'm making with my insurance company is, hey, if I don't get in any wrecks, then that's what keeps my premiums low.
Excuse me.
That's all that you get to gauge me by. If I'm speeding and I got to drive and I'm driving fast, but I know how to drive fast and I'm dodging cops and, I'm doing everything, on paper, you don't see any wrecks. That is the deal.
Yeah.
That is the deal.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah. But now the game is
selling
shifting.
us out.
They are selling us out. They are taking data from these people's cars to actually, based off what they see in the data, if you're a liability, they're going to raise it up, and they're going to raise everybody's up. That's what they're doing. But we're looking the other way, and it's like, dude, this should be a concern, because we're already talking about how everything's expensive now.
So I'm just wondering, though,
to it,
if the reason why my insurance didn't go up is because they have been looking at my driving history, because I drive like an 80-year-old woman, dude.
Oh, this is good. This is great for you.
I just cruise, dude. I'm just cruising. Oh, you want to get by? Oh, go ahead, young man. But I mean, I'm serious. I get passed by old people. Yeah. People get so frustrated behind me because I'm always just, I'm not in a rush. I'm just cruising.
Yeah, man. I mean, it shouldn't be a concern to you, but anybody else. I mean, dude. Think about how many people are in the U.S. that are definitely going over that 10, 15 speed limit, whatever,
You know what, though? I guess, unpopular opinion, but I'm kind of glad. I hope it slows some people down, man, because there's a lot of people that are just cruise, man. I mean, I was driving home one day from the podcast, and I'm going on I-5 north, and this guy, well, it was younger kids. I mean, we're talking like you thought you were watching Mario Go-Kart live version. Vroom, crossing 3 lanes and just going that way, and then hard braking, slamming their brakes on, and I'm like, when I see that, man, I just get out of his way as much as I can.
Yeah.
That used to be you.
No, there was times. I mean, I would speed up, but I would never be like that dude that would be like passing cars without turning my signal on or nothing like that. Just freaking going
flying between the lines between 2 cars. They call it gapping. They call it gapping, don't they? Or no. That's when you fly ahead of somebody too far. But I forget. There's a term that when 2 cars are side by side and then you just split the lines and drive through.
Holy moly.
Oh, the motorcycles?
No, like
the motorcycles do that. Motorcycles are notorious to do that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Crazy.
Your insurance is going up, sir.
The $480 a month for
I saw it happen yesterday. I was driving north on I-5, and you know how the motorcycles like to go
in between? Yeah, always. Yeah.
So this truck, big old truck, saw the guy trying to do that, and he purposely pulled over and made
in front of a motorcycle.
Yep.
Ooh, that's risky.
So the motorcycle had to hard brake it, and so then the motorcycle,
don't love that.
He just waited for the traffic to completely stop because we were in rush hour, and so then the truck had to straighten his truck out to get, and then the guy just boom zoomed past him, but. Yeah, I mean, that's the type
That's an
of
accident
stuff.
waiting to happen
guess-
right there, bro.
yeah.
Drivers suck, though.
I was gonna say I get like not liking the fact that motorcyclists are flying, but it's like, is it really worth to prove a point to kill someone? I mean, that's
We
like
wasn't going to
pretty
kill him. It was enough advanced, but I was thinking, back in the day, you would always hear of motorcyclers always having that little string with the ball on it, and dude, you're going to lose a mirror now.
Is that what it's done for? Is that what it's used for?
That's what they used to do
Yeah,
back in like I want to say like
I remember
the
I saw
90s.
this dude, this big biker dude, a Harley, which was cool.
Yeah, Hell's Angel.
It was a pretty sick Harley too. Actually,
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I would have won a Harley. But anyways, no, he had like a chain. I'm like, oh, like that makes
in
sense
case.
now. Like just in case,
Yeah.
just freaking whip that
Yeah,
thing.
there's this thing. It's illegal. I forget what it's called, but it's like this thing, like a steel ball wrapped in, and then they use it to
Yeah.
Holy
make
moly.
a point.
There used to be a video game back when I was a kid. I don't know if you guys remember it. It's called Road Rash. And
Oh,
literally
yeah, I remember that game.
The entire game was riding around on a motorcycle, hitting each other with weapons.
Yeah.
Like, Papa's tire, bam. Yeah.
That opens up some memories.
Road
my
Rash.
brain
I
closed that one.
don't think I've heard of that.
It's like an old school, like, I believe
Was it
was like,
PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 1?
no, it was like one. Yeah, exactly. It
think
might have
that's
even been Nintendo. It might have even been before PlayStation.
Could have been.
Like Super Nintendo.
I remember the
yeah.
name.
Interesting. No.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I mean that's something I didn't know. I was always curious to know why some dudes, I've seen it a couple times, like carry like these chains on the side of their handles. I'm like, that's what it's for.
Well,
interesting.
I mean, I wouldn't have blamed the guy if he would have done that. If he would have taken that mirror off and then just kept going, I wouldn't have blamed him one bit because that was foul.
They do
dude.
that. They do that sometimes. Too.
One wrong move though on a motorcycle. That's the thing where like I never really bought one. I always wanted one, but it's like one wrong move on that thing, dude, you're screwed.
Oh yeah,
you fall off that thing, you're pretty much done.
Better be
dude.
dialed in.
Yeah, dialed in.
Yeah.
Because dude, if you don't like think about it, all those cars going on the freeway, you roll off that
Not
thing,
looking.
someone runs you over, you're done. You know what I'm saying? So
you had nothing holding you on it. You're basically holding onto a rocket with your hands like this, going just like flying down the street. No protection at all.
yeah, I know. I mean, I know so many friends that have put their bikes down. They've been in wrecks and whatever. No broken bones. None of my friends have broken bones, but they've been hurt. I mean, it never feels good, and it doesn't. Dude, you could be like, you don't even have to. Oh, the motorcycle. Oh yeah, I got a story for you to share for the pod. So there was this one time, he was a 27-year-old guy on his bike. And he was
Harley crotch rocket or
it wasn't a crotch rocket. I want to say, I don't know exactly the bike because there was nothing left of it. But so I'm driving the mean highways of Montana one morning, and I'm seeing lights everywhere, like cop lights or ambulance, fire truck or whatever. And I'm like, whoa, something went down. And all of a sudden I get closer, right? Because the traffic's just going slow. And I was just like one of the first ones on the scene, minus all the cops. First one after the first responders just started receiving or getting there. Then I saw the helicopter land and I'm like, oh man, this is bad. But normally when they bring the helicopter, he's still alive. So anyway, so what happened was this guy was coming around a corner, double lane, and hit a beer truck head on. And his motorcycle took the front axle of the truck out. So now the truck has completely lost steering. And so they knew exactly when this wreck had happened because the truck losing his steering ended up veering off and hitting a phone pole and knocked the radio station power out. And so that everybody knew, boom, right there. That's exactly when it happened. So when I see the guy, the driver of the motorcycle, he is on the side of the road and his left leg is completely missing below the knee or above the knee. And it was like they were putting a tourniquet on it. I saw the blood. And I got so queasy. I had to like breathe because I'm like, this guy just lost his leg, you know? And he lived, but he did not live to ride again. Wow. He's not riding a motorbike anymore.
Yeah. The only another one that comes to mind for me is over on 112th. I just slow traffic and we were kind of rolling by and they're putting a blanket on him.
Oh yeah, he's cold. Yeah.
All right,
putting a blanket on.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. Nah, man.
So
That's
what it is.
That's one reason I say, nah, I'm good. You stick to in a vehicle.
count me out.
I'm good. Yeah. I mean, cool.
I'm too tall.
I mean, I like the Harley. Some like certain Harleys. I'm like, damn, that would be sick to ride one. But it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe up and down the block or something.
It's already hard enough fall for me just standing. But let alone on a bike, that'd be way too far of a fall for me. I'd be dead. Probably if I was going 5.
You with the long ass ones, dude. So like
the idea of having a bike is cool, but dying doesn't seem cool.
Just buy one, put it in your garage, stare at it.
I read a book. Hunter S. Thompson. He was he was what was the brand of journalism? Gonzo journalism, I think he called it. But I read his book where he kind of infiltrated the Hells Angels, and he was trying to like get in with the Hells Angels, be cool with them so he could kind of document everything. So anyway, he was talking about riding a bike and how, he'd be with these Hells Angels and they'd be riding. We're talking like going 100 miles an hour just down the road. And he goes, the faster you go, he goes, you can just feel it. And he goes, that's the freedom that they want right there. It's just that freedom that you can never feel in a car.
Like riding just, open road, going down, cranking some tunes, maybe some fucking AC/DC on, bandana.
And he was talking about, in the book, when he put his bike down and he was going like 70 or whatever, and he just put it down and he goes, it was just slow motion. You just knew it was going down. You're riding it out.
See, when people make it seem cool like that, it's almost makes me want to like just see what they're talking about.
Yep.
But it's like, it's not like I don't trust other people when they're driving, and it's like I could follow along, just be cruising, but it's like you never know, somebody could just nick you once. And that's it.
Especially in a state where everybody's insurance premiums are going up because they drive like ass.
Hey, you should just, if you're curious to ride a motorcycle, go on Craigslist or whatever, and then just tell the guy that you're experienced, like in the Allstate commercial, and then the guy takes off down the street. Do you see that? So in the Allstate commercial, he's like the I forget what they call him, the guy that just keeps getting hurt. So it's one of his first ones, and he goes up and he's like, you sure you got this thing? And it's like this giant chopper, like super nice, and he takes it down the road. It's like bam, slams it into something. He dumps it, slides it down the road, and then he's like sliding. He's like, oh yeah, Allstate insurance.
Have you guys ever rode a bike or tried to ride one?
Like actual bike?
I crashed it.
You did?
A dirt bike.
Okay. So you did ride.
When I was a kid, I tried.
Okay. No, I'm talking like a road bike.
No, never would.
So I rode one. It was a Honda Shadow.
Okay.
And so I think it was my mom's boyfriend who had it. Yeah. So he goes, "Hey, Brett, you want to ride my bike?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know how to ride." He was probably trying to kill me. And so, yeah, I was always under his skin. But so anyway, so he puts me on this bike, and I'm in my trailer park. And thinking, okay, so what do I do? I just, turn this handle. Okay, that's my gas. Okay, clutch. Okay, I think I got it. And so I go about 10 feet and I dropped it.
No! And
I'm like, I'm done. That was my
slam it down.
Yeah, that was my riding career. I took off my leather vest and everything. I'm like, I'm not a biker. Took off the bandana, took the chain out, threw the chain away.
That's hilarious.
I was done.
Yeah. Took off the chaps.
Assless.
Exactly. You have to have assless. The airflow is impeccable.
Yeah. Told all my friends at the biker bar, not gonna beat you. I'll show up in the Beretta if I do come.
You just got to get the mom tattoo and hop back on. And
I still got it. Hasn't faded away.
Yeah. So you won't ever see the boys, unfortunately, riding on some choppers. So that's that.
Something drastic would have to happen.
Unless I'm on a sidecar, that'd be it.
I think the furthest I'll go.
Well, what about those bikes with the 2 wheels on the front?
That seems more risky, doesn't it?
No, they just look lame.
But you're actually like, it looks like you're more covered, I would think. Like you're not actually like, exposed, but you're more like inside of something, right? I think that's what it is, right?
I mean, you're sitting on, it's definitely more stable.
Yeah.
Is it?
But it's like,
Looks so
I
weird.
don't know. Yeah.
Looks
like-
so weird.
I just feel like everyone's going to call
over.
I feel like, well, not even that. I just feel like, you're going to show up with the boys and they're all going to laugh at you all the way in. Like, oh yeah, look at him on his spider.
Dude, this thing's sick, all right? Make fun of my bike.
Yeah, they just look so weird, dude. I don't know. They just look so. I don't know. I just can't get I wrap my head around them, dude. I don't know. It's not for me.
I think they were built for people like older.
Yeah.
That's what the target market originally was. But then you had all these people that couldn't make it on the Harley.
Yeah.
Like brand new riders. And they're like, well, I can't get the 2-wheel down. Maybe I'll just do the 3.
The trike.
And it's like, yeah.
You got to go to the trike.
You're a loser. Like if it's an older person, I won't knock them.
Yeah.
I don't knock their hustle. Like, hey, there's a lot of horsepower, doing all that stuff, and whatever. You've been riding for years. This is your retirement ride.
I remember. I'm sorry, babe, if I share this story, dude. So my wife, some dude next door, where my in-laws were living at. This person next door was selling like this scooter, but it wasn't working and needed something to be
like
worked.
a moped,
like a moped.
Okay.
And I think I needed like a new battery. I think that's or something electrical. But anyways, they fixed it. They got it for free.
Nice,
brand new. Like it was like a nice looking one. And this thing had it picked up. Like I rode it around. All you see me just running around this little thing, just cruising on on the
looking like that. Len, what's that band? Steal My Sunshine band.
I don't know, dude. But
they're all riding on mopeds.
Because I'm big me. I'm just like riding this thing, right?
Yeah.
So my wife takes her for a spin because she wanted to go. She wanted to go just fucking ride it. Well, she went out to the actual road, where cars are going by and all that, right?
Traffic.
And she comes back like nothing happened, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. And then we're on the way home. She's like, I have to just be honest. I freaking I biffed it when I was. She's like, she said that she was panicking because there was cars coming in from behind her.
Yeah.
So she wanted to take a turn to come back, and as she was taking the turn, she hit something and she rolled off of it.
Oh my God.
I started laughing. I'm like, well, are you okay? I'm like, she's like, well, my hip hurts a little bit, but I think I'm fine. She biffed and she flew off, and cars were kind of watching.
Oh man, where's the security footage at?
I'm like, I need to talk to one of them to see if they got footage of that. But that was her story.
When I went to the Philippines for the first time in 2013, she was fiance at the time.
Yeah.
So she had a moped that she was riding around.
Yeah.
And her idea was, hey, when you get here, I'll get on the back, you take over, right? This is like bubblegum pink moped, And I'm like, and me, of course, I'm, recalling memories of riding the Honda Shadow in the trailer park. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
No,
I'm not in a foreign country.
I already know how this is going to play out. Right?
Yeah. Like, I don't want to kill you. And so she's like, what? You're not going to ride this thing? You're not going to drive me? I'm like, no, I'm not.
We'll get a car,
right? Yeah, let's just, you got all these little motorbikes with the sidecars.
Yeah,
just hail one of those. And she's like, no, just get on the back, So
she's ready.
So she's driving, but I'm like twice her weight. And so I'm on the back of this thing, and she would tell me, she goes, quit moving. And I had to lean in on her. Yeah. Not for your life. One of my most top 10 masculine moments, on the back of a bubblegum pink moped. But she slayed on that thing, dude.
Yeah, she's ripping on that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, man. Yeah. So, moral story: be safe out there if you're on a motorcycle. Don't go to the little middle, whatever you call them on the lanes, the little dotted lanes, whatever they are.
Be careful.
Yeah, be careful. Definitely.
Yeah.
We want everybody to be safe. For sure. But yeah, boys, I think we've reached our final destination on this. No pun intended to the movie, but yeah, we'll definitely we'll have to get back to it again. Just stay consistent on this for sure. Definitely, it's always a good time with the boys getting together and just talk about it.
For the audience to know though. Next 2 weekends, I'll be out of commish.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
Next 2 weeks.
Oh man,
So
okay.
I gotta.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll share more details off.
Okay, fair enough. So it'll probably be me and Brad here at La Casa the studio and see what we can cook up. But it'll definitely be good content as always. But definitely check us out, past previous episodes, everything that we've made in the past at YouTube, or even make it easy for yourself on Instagram, Beyond Exposition Pod. or Beyond Position podcast. It's one of those two. I have a horrible memory, but we'll have direct links in our bio where it'll take you everywhere we're available at, like YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TikTok for now. I mean, until they say no more, no mas. But find us there too as well. But we're gonna wrap this one up. Have an awesome day when this releases. Take care. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.